All right, chat. Let's get to the review on Gunna's new album, A Gift and a Curse. I know we're a couple days late, but I just wasn't really like I don't know. I didn't really care that much. You know, I listen to more like just different type of music normally. Although I do really like old Gunna. Like Drip Season 3 was my favorite project by him, with like Hell of a Price. Like you just can't beat that. And we'll get into that a little bit later. One of my criticisms, but I didn't think that the album was all too bad, although it did not have any features, which I think will affect the sales, which again, we'll get into later, but I still do think it'll do well because it's not like he's blackballed from the industry, just perhaps from cosigns, or people are scared to associate with him currently because of the snitching allegations, whether that be producers and artists. They just, even if they're cool with him behind the scenes, like, you don't want to publicly say anything or like be associated with him because it might affect their career. And Gunna probably has to understand that as well. You know, like you can't hate, although whatever. All right. So some people are saying, I'm seeing a lot of 6s to 8s. That's what I'm seeing. I would give it, let's see how many I liked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 15. I'd probably give it a 6. I'd probably give it a 6. 6. Yeah, 6. So perhaps I'm thinking, because a lot of people are kind of scared to work with him, I thought the production was actually kind of weak. I know we didn't talk about it during the reaction, like while we were actually listening to music, but afterwards I realized, like, damn, I don't remember much of the beats at all. At all. Do y'all? And maybe that's just because Gunna is like a flow god. I'll give him that. Like the only time I really remember was like Go Crazy, when there was like a little synth whistle in the background. And I was like, whoa, that made the song low key. So yeah, the production was weak. And Wheezy said he wasn't going to produce for Gunna, which was one of his main producers. So I'm thinking that might be the reason. So Gunna can't really control that factor. And I think the album was more lyrical, based upon what he was going through, especially that All Right song, which was cool, seeing how he was feeling about like people turning on him and becoming irrelevant, although he is still relevant. But like he was talking about a hypothetical scenario, if he were to fall off because of what happened, like everything's gonna be all right. And then he just talked about how he wasn't a snitch, and like, did we need that many songs for him? Like, I don't know. Give us more info than just saying you're not a snitch. I mean, I guess he told us how he was feeling, which is all he really can tell. Other than because of the case, he can't really say information, or else that will screw it up even more, and then he become more of a snitch. But back to the music. So Gunna is a flow god. I will give him that. He can make the rather weak production still sound good. And as you know, I'm one of the advocates of producers being like the goats of the music industry. They set the standard. If the beat ain't good, most likely the song ain't gonna be good. So they're like 80% of the track. Or maybe that's just the type of music I listen to, because I do listen to the lyrics, but I don't really care for the lyrics if it's not sonically, like the flow isn't good, or the melody, or just like it doesn't, you know, if it doesn't sound good, I don't really care what you're saying. You could be giving me the Declaration of Independence, meanwhile we're in 1700s, and it's like, oh shit, we're taking over this new country, and I just won't give a shit if like it sounds terrible. Now, as I was saying though, because of the weak production, it's almost like decent background music. Like if you play it in the car, none of these tracks were really all too bad. Like it's not like they were total duds. It's just wasn't completely interesting, wasn't completely breathtaking where I'd be like, oh shit, this is going on my playlist. I think the one that I really liked, Rodeo was cool, and Born Rich was cool because it had like an island vibe, remind me of Lil Tecca. That went on the playlist. And then some of the other songs was just decent. I don't think there were any like really standout tracks. Personally, I think a lot of people on Twitter and Instagram are going to overrate Gunna. I don't think Gunna's overrated by any stretch, but I think that just because it is Gunna, And like he has the affiliations and associations and co-signs from like all of the greats in hip hop. He's even signed to Young Thug, and you know, he is going through this whole snitching and whatnot. So maybe he loses a bit of that, but the fans still know that he's cool with all the rappers, or at least was. So they're gonna tune in no matter what. And because he's so good at rapping, like the actual skill of rapping and flowing, they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt, no matter how the music actually sounds. So I think that kind of masks some of the weak production, as I said before. And so compared to his older music, as we were getting into before with like Drip Season 3, like I don't think any of these songs really beat Hell of a Price, or let's even go to some of the tracks. Like I wasn't trying to just straight up compare it to his old music, because I understand where y'all are coming from. Like, comparison is the thief of joy. But at the same time, like, we only have a certain amount of time during a day or during a week. And so music is kind of in a competition to make it on my playlist or like my daily rotation. So if Gunna got better songs in the past, like why am I gonna listen to worse songs, at least in my own opinion, than what he already got? So look, he got Drip Season 3, Hell of a Price, Top Off. Oh my God, Top Off, Hell of a Price, Spending Addiction, Drip or Drown Remix, Carson. Oh my God, I absolutely love these songs. I wasn't even listening to Spotify in 2018. I was still doing like downloading songs. So that's why I only have that many likes. But still, I just don't think any of these songs really, like, it's not, this album doesn't have any major hits on it, which I feel like is a big issue. I don't know if it's me or if the music lately just ain't hitting the same. Like, these artists just can't produce a hit. Have you heard that in 2023, there was not one number one hit from hip hop? So what does that tell you? That, like, I don't know. There just hasn't been anything that's really boomed as of late. So now let's get into sales. What did DS Forever do? I think it did like, actually, I don't even know, because I remember it maybe doing like 125, or even, I even have like an image in my head that could potentially be like 200K, but that could be totally wrong. So DS Forever, first week sales, he did 150, it says. So obviously that had big songs on it. Pushin' P, Pussy Power with Drake, had a lot of features, Lil Baby, Young Thug, etc., etc. Gunna's like one of the most connected artists in the industry, and it sold 150. I think it even had 2 Drake songs, or am I tripping? I don't know. So it's definitely not touching 150, but he does have a lot of the relevance, or people tuning in to hear what he has to say regarding the YSL case and if he snitched or not. But I don't think any rapper would really admit to snitching, so I don't know why that's really that big of a deal. But of course, we're still entertained. It's like the it's like the Kardashian show, but in music form. So I think it's probably gonna do like 100K, maybe a little under, over 10, give or take 10. You know what I'm saying? Is that fair to say? But I'd give the album like a 6 for sure. 80K, 30K. Nah, it ain't doing 30, bro. Because again, he's still industry. Like, he got Rap Caviar on his side. He probably on other playlists. His label's still fighting for him. YSL, I mean, Young Thug, they're still promoting it because they want the money. So like, maybe that's the whole scheme or the finesse now. It's like everybody in the industry got to be quiet, so that, because if they start calling Gunna a snitch, then they're essentially hurting Young Thug. So even though they're trying to support Young Thug by being like, Gunna, why did you snitch on our man? But they're helping Young Thug by making his family money while he's in jail and can't really continue generating revenue or music. Although he has royalties that are coming in residually just because of all the music that he already dropped. But maybe that's just the whole ploy right now. It's crazy. Business is business for sure. And it's not that I don't like the album. It is a vibe. But it's nothing over the top for me. And I just feel like a lot of rap music lately has been a vibe, but nothing like the last project that really moved me, let's see, was like maybe one that always pops up in my head when we're listening to underground rappers, at least, is like Project X by Ken Carson. I'm like, damn, I was listening to that shit for like 3 weeks straight. Like nothing else. I'm showing everybody clutch, rock and roll, everything. Like it was just groundbreaking. Like a new sound, everything. Whereas lately, just maybe you add a couple songs to your rotation, your playlist, but other than that, like it kind of comes and goes after a week or two. You know what I mean? There are probably other ones that dropped after that, but that's just the one that always comes into my mind. I've been listening to the Sofago project though. I like that one a lot. And yeah, Uzi and Travis are going to come through. I'm excited for that Uzi live stream. I'm actually glad that he's dropping the 30th because now I will be back from Chicago. I'll be back home in Miami. So I'll be able to listen to that with y'all. Because if I was in Chicago for Summer Smash, I would be like out partying and shit. And not be streaming. So then I would have to do the reaction late and they would just fuck up everything. You know what I mean?